Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a very grey day at the moment and it looks like it could be rain. Let's hope it does, and that we can see some rejuvenation of the soil's moisture levels. I'm Ros Boundy, psychic medium, not a farmer, though I grew up on a farm, so it always does concern me what happens in the farming industry and the world, because that is what sustains and feeds us. Other parts of what is life that feeds us is our spiritual connection. So what I'm helping you with and guiding you with is bringing that practice of connecting with your spirit guides, your intuition, that gut feeling, so that you can learn more to be able to interpret some of the other tools that we use. More specifically on these days, today is the Lenormand card deck. And good morning to Sarah. Lovely to see you popping in because I am late, lots late. Had a lovely sleep in this morning. And so what we're doing is reading the cards. So here we go. I've got a spread set out for us. This is the same type of spread that I've used for a number of years. And it is using the Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck by Ciro Marchetti. Here it is. I use the expanded edition. And we have one of the cards from that expanded edition, because with the Lenormand deck there is 36 cards in the regular old-fashioned deck, and many of the types of cards that are created now have extras. And what we've got is the bouquet in the home space, card 9, with the Queen of Spades relating to the playing deck, a normal card playing deck. So you can do a Lenormand reading using a regular playing deck. So Queen of Spades is equivalent to being 9, the bouquet. We've got, that's in the house space, home space. In our theme for the day today, it is the park, and it's the card 20, and we've got the 8 of Spades, which is the relative card for the playing deck, okay? And in our workspace, we've got the major number 44, that is, I consider the double numbers angelics, and this is the magnifying glass in the workspace, okay? So what we have as our wisdom card is this, and thankfully lovely Sarah, who gifted me these, is on the stream this morning. So every day is a new day to a wise person, and isn't it beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. Now, I've also got Fiona has popped in. Good morning, Ros Girly, and all around the globe. A good afternoon or a good evening, depending where you are. And it's been raining at North Adelaide. Really? Oh, I don't know. Do you know, I haven't even checked outside to know if it's been raining here yet. It could have been raining overnight. Looks like the bitumen might look a bit damp, the road outside my house. Anyway, let's continue onward. I'll zoom into the cards. So we go about that big so that we can see them in all their glory. And as you can see with this park card, isn't it glorious? It has all the potential of what is Mother Nature's contribution. We've got, to our globe, to our earth, we share the space. She's the creator. Well, we call her that, Gaia or Mother Earth. God the creator, whichever way that you like to understand this, or by the plain scientific method of how we've evolved over an evolutionary time span of millions of years. It's all truth, honestly it is. So here we have the gorgeous birds there that are on it looks like a vine or something like that, that they do look like they're sitting. One might be almost about to fly off. The gazebo that holds this beautiful exotic plant, different places and spaces around the world, the gorgeous canopy of trees that we're viewing this through, pines and cedars and all sorts of trees. I've got no idea what they are, but they are those majestic types of trees, and they could be anywhere around the world. Gorgeous specimens. The wonderful peacock, the lovely statues to bring a more formal aspect to this. It's really organising ourselves within our natural realm. I'm suggesting as our theme today, it is having that influence that we have. Be mindful of the influence that we have with what is our nature. because, the Mother Nature, the connection that we have with it. There is so much that is being destroyed or influenced poorly that is going to affect our longer term well-being moving ahead. I'm very concerned for the bees and what's happening with what poisons are being laid and randomly, well, almost randomly, but by decree, Queensland, New South Wales, for fire ants is killing other bees and natural, the native species of the ants and everything as well. There's so much that we do that is influencing our environment. This looks absolutely beautiful, and we can treat Mother Nature in such a loving way that it is looking after not just the beauty but the functionality of all interconnected parts and pieces of the environment, those microclimates, those microcosms, all of it we need to be aware of. And that's the message that I'm getting. It's becoming more urgent that we do what is necessary to stop what is affecting the longer term health of Mother Earth. And we're going, read up a bit on it. There are many places and spaces that you can see what influence we have and that longer term effect. And it's not just climate change. It isn't that. It is the way that we have our footprint on the earth, especially even on our individual level in our own homes. Okay? And once we do that, when we can really look at the detail of what we're having as influence on our planet, we'll get moving forward in a better way. We've got to act on it. Okay, and we've got Fiona's numerology. We've got a day number of 3 today, and look at the number we've got it as the card's total. It is 11. Now that breaks down to 11 or a 2 if you like to bring the 2 digits together. It can be both, okay, and those glorious little hearts in the line. Just have another look at that for yourselves as the numbers. 3 is the day number and 11 of the total of the cards for today. So the energies are moving positive with angelic, angel, spirit, all of that. The connection of what is not seen being a big influence, okay? In our home space with the bouquet, it is a thank you. And I think I'm connecting this more with what is the rewards from looking after Mother Nature. It's not necessarily that you receive the bouquet of flowers, though you will, because the plants will love you. You plant the ones, put in your ground. It doesn't take much to put in a little bushes or pots of flowers that are going to attract the bees and the butterflies, the dragonflies, the ladybirds, all sorts of, the little ants, worms, all sorts of things that are going to be able to continue onward with this beautiful aspect of the garden, that is unseen, that works silently below the earth, and that is the toing and froing of the birds, spreading seeds in their poops as they eat, and the bees pollinating, and all sorts of things that happen in those microcosms of environments. We're going to have that joy of being able to continue to give, receive flowers in a bouquet as a thank you. And I think this is where put your thoughts to that as your direction in your own home space as well, that we are going to be gifted with the huge thank you from Gaia, Mother Earth, and bringing that forward into our conscious mind more often, that we are touching Earth gently, carefully, respectfully, moving around what we need to get action happening towards what is a better, healthier environment for us moving forward. And that includes a longer term that is our grandchildren and forward generations. Okay? I'm just feeling it's getting to that point of being very important to move through not just the thoughts and, oh my, things are happening that we don't like. We need to change it and shift it around, looking at what is the more in-depth, detailed factors of that. And here we've got Sarah saying, my garden is a pure garden of earthly delights with the bees. That's what I'm designing and trying to do with my garden. Oh, excuse me. I did decide with my garden to take out the palm trees because they're just so messy, and it makes it so hard to be able to do anything properly underneath them. So I decided to have those removed, and I'll be getting my garden put into more of a state for ease of maintenance, but ease of the continuity of having bees in, more flowered production. The fruit, I've got fruit trees, so I know the bees go to that, and I'm wanting to plant a few roses and some other things, but more a productive of the food base that we eat from, so that not relying on whatever it is that the supermarkets bring in from wherever, that it's not organic, that it's got chemical sprays and all the rest. It's just my thing I'm wanting to move forward with. So looking forward to that with my garden. And good morning, Shaz. Lovely to see you on. There you go. You are here. Tony did say that you had called while I was in the shower, because it's lovely to have my partner back here for a while at the moment. Well, partner, very, very good friend that visits very often. I consider him my partner. Here we go. And in the workspace, it is the double number. We've got the angel's presence here in the bigger form. And with the magnifying glass, we are going to be looking deeper in the bigger form, because it does show it up in the bigger form when you use it, to really see what the detail is. Now, in the workspace, it can be documents and stuff like that. Here, we've actually got it looking at pictures of what is, something that's depicted in a picture, a artwork, a card. This looks like it's some of the tarot cards or something similar, and we're looking at the detail. So I'm feeling that Spirit's indicating for us, even in the workspace, if we're at work, we can help influence toward the greater good, sustainable living on earth that is looking after Mother Nature, that is lessening our complete footprint in the way that we're tromping like we're bloody giants at the moment, so that we can have a footprint as light as the fairies, so that we are going to be able to move onward, make it part of our work plan, that we are recycling as much as we can, making sure that we're not using that sort of plastic and products that isn't able to be put through that recycling or, the biodegradable type process. Use things that are like that we can put back to Mother Earth. Have that cycle of what is natural continuing to roll over in wondrous fertility and productivity, so that we can have these blooms and blossoms and all sorts. The bugs and little creatures, I don't know what these are. They do look like little beetles and things like that. I mean, the most perfect beetle in a huge paddock on a farm has been the dung beetle. I can remember when I was small, that out in the paddock, and Dad had occasionally checked the cow pats just to see what sort of activity there was in that. That's the breakdown of the manures into the earth naturally with dung beetles. We'd be counting the pats occasionally. We'd be counting what bugs and beetles, what type, looking at them to see what activity there was, so that it was sustaining the health of the earth. So use practices that are going to, and find, if you don't know what they are, look them up. Just see what you can do in that smaller environment of an office, in the ways that you use things. That's if you work in an office. You might be a agriculturalist or herbologist or whatever the terms are. The farmer. Let's just use a farmer. In whatever way you might be an outside worker and have the full realm of an aspect of influence that is really good for us. But we can start in those smallest of ways in being aware and putting into action the activities that will help nurture and grow Mother Nature in a into the future in a wonderful, sustainable way that leaves that legacy of a good earth for our children, grandchildren and forward. And it can be beautiful. We can design it as we need, and the areas that Mother Earth can do her own thing. I think we need a hell of a lot more of those areas instead of tearing them down. Okie doke. And we do have Julia has popped in as well. Good morning, Ros and all. So there we go. I'm not on a soapbox. I am doing what I can as far as my own space and place here where I live, and I'll be researching a few more of those ways that's going to be easy maintenance and able to do on, well, a 1/4 acre block. I've got a little bit more than 1,000 square metres is my property, my realm of responsibility. Sure, there's a house and there's a shed on it and a bit of concrete for a driveway or two, but the rest of it I can do a fair bit with. So I'm doing a bit more research around what is going to be a more sustainable, easy to maintain and productive space. Even if you're in an apartment, you can have a little area that has pot plants that you can grow whatever you feel is going to be able to contribute. My sister used to have an apartment recently that she'd have the pots out on the balcony, and there were some bees that would still go and visit those little plants. When they grew well, it was at Henley, so it was full seafront almost, so it's a bit harder, but there are ways that we can do it in our small way. Okay, look towards that. That's our mission for the day today. And Sarah, thank you, beautiful soul. Wishing you all a beautiful, blessed day with love and joy. Thank you so much for that. So be mindful, bring to your conscious awareness more of that is our responsibility for Mother Earth today, and we will be blessed and rewarded with the fruits of what we do, be that in the more visual and floral, that is for sustaining the little creatures, or be that for what we can harvest for ourselves and our own nourishment that then moves it back and forward into the environment in good ways. So do the best that you can with that and within yourself too. Search deep for what is meaningful for you in living your life and what you are growing and learning to know what is your pathway. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. What is today? It is Friday. I've lost track of days. And blessings. Namaste.